Okay, howdy everybody. Welcome back to another stream. It's FF14 guy today. I don't know. I've just been wanting to play this for a little bit. I try popping in here once a month if for no other reason than to make sure that my house doesn't get auto demoed. But yeah, it's time to come in, say hello to all of the FF14 watchers out there. I know that's one of the big ways that a lot of people find me, and I haven't really played a whole lot lately. So yeah, this is just kind of a little quick peek in, say hello, get a little bit done. Obviously, they have Little Ladies Day and Hatching Tide coming up a little bit later on this month. We will probably do that on stream since I've got a few days off, and yeah, we'll just kind of play it by ear. There's just really not a ton that I need to get done before Dawn Trail, but we get a new Koubou mount, so I figured that would probably be something worthy of doing on the stream. And I always like Hatching Tide and Little Lady State too, so yeah. But aside from that, not really a whole lot going on tonight in terms of a game plan or anything like that. It'll probably be a fairly relaxed stream. I figured like an hour or two of just like, leveling some alts or something, saying hello and whatnot. I'm still very excited for Dawn Trail, so I don't want people to think that I've completely forgotten about this game. It's still very much a passion of mine. So yeah, it's just it's the end of patch, it's the end of expansion cycle. You just kind of gotta roll with it, and hey, it gives you an opportunity to go try some other games out there, try some new things, which I almost ended up doing some Morally Dangerous streaming today, but I'm doing some CZ stuff and some Spec Ops stuff that again, I'm not really entirely sure if they're really cool with me streaming that kind of stuff. I don't think it really makes all that much of a difference, but it's whatever. So yeah, aside from that, I might actually get in here and do a little bit of roleplay later tonight, obviously off stream. But if you see me running around, I've been trying to make a big list of a bunch of the big RP venues, and just as a Google sheet, mostly like photo gallery kind of stuff, like photo studios. It's kind of hard to find decent photo studios. I really like the ones that are like actually set up like a studio with a bunch of different sets and stuff. There's definitely a lot of really nice houses and that kind of thing, but they're usually specifically under a certain theme or something like that. I really just kind of looking for more GPO stuff out and about there to get some nice screenshots. I haven't really done that in a while. I probably need to update some drivers and that kind of thing. But aside from that, it's just it's been a search. But I found a few good ones out and about. I really don't mind doing data center travel and that kind of thing for this for that kind of stuff. So thankfully, there's enough out there that I think I can get some good some decent screenshots a little bit later on. I'm not going to be doing the FF15 collab thing. I've already done that the past 2 years. So if you are wanting some FF15 content, I'm sure there are a lot of really great streamers out there that have not done it yet. So be sure and give them a look. And yeah, but yeah, aside from this and Elite, really not a whole lot of news on the game front anytime soon. So we're just gonna do our best to kind of hang out and enjoy it while we can. Not really a whole lot that I can see going on here compared to any other time at the quicksand, I guess. So yeah, let me see here. This is going to be rough. I'm going to be honest. It's been a while since I played, so I need to remember all of my keybinds and things. I think I was working on Warrior last time I was doing some alt leveling, trying to put in that work to the Amaro Mount grind. It's definitely a thing. I'm not super confident in trying to do it with a group after so long away, as far as actually doing content and stuff. So we're just gonna hop in here and probably do a duty support. But I cannot remember like what my... Okay, I'm level 65. I don't think I can do that yet. All right, so we can do Bardam's Metal. We'll hop in here. They're relaxed, they're easy, they're chill. It's almost impossible to die as long as I'm just using my AoEs. That's the other thing. What were my AoEs again? Okay, there we go. I'll pick it up fairly quickly. It won't take too long. You know, if I was doing Red Mage, it's basically second nature at this point. Got that muscle memory built in. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so that reduces damage. Got it. I don't really need to use a whole lot of my cooldowns in a trust, but it's always good to have them just in case. There we go. And switch back over to single target. But yeah, you know, I am very, very excited about Dawn Trail, so once that we get a little bit more info about it, you know, you can expect that to be a full stream. I'll be doing some pretty long streams of that when it's actually out. And obviously, you know, with some other FF14 things to kind of keep in mind, we will have, you know, the live letters and stuff between now and then. I actually need to check the schedule to see when that's going to be coming up again. We are about due for another one, if I remember right. So, yeah, you know, I will be doing the live letter watch along, same as always. Those are always kind of a big deal here on the channel. So if you want to, you know, keep up with the FF14 news and everything, even though I'm not necessarily streaming a game all that often these days, I am still keeping in touch with the news, and we are still going to be doing the watch along. So you're always free to hop on in and say hello, watch along with me. So, you know, it'll be another part of the road to 1,500 subs. So if you do like the game, if you're another warrior of light, feel free to like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be on a journey together over the next year or so. But aside from that, yeah, it's just really just been a lot of Elite. It feels like it's been a really, really good time to get into it. So if you've been following me over on Twitch, I've been trying to keep most of the actual live streaming of that over on Twitch, but I am doing, of course, the uploads and all of that here on this channel, so people can watch the VODs and stuff. But I'm probably not going to actually do live streaming of it here. And I mentioned this a couple times in the last stream that I did over there. You can see it in the VODs, but yeah, it's just the algo, I guess, just really doesn't like it when you stream the same game over and over again, unless you were like a dedicated streamer of that game. So yeah, it's just one of those technical things that I really have no control over. I mean, if people here really do like watching Elite Dangerous and stuff, I really don't mind streaming it here, because that has been the majority of it. But, you know, just as another reminder that I am very much a variety streamer, I don't really stick to one game in particular all that much, so just trying to manage the expectations there, always a little tricky when you're just kind of speaking into the void that is a YouTube, right? Yeah, I hope everyone's been having a good time, and you know, if this is your first time doing the FF14 event or FF15 event, yeah, I hope you really enjoy your new Regalia. It's a very cool mount, very fun, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. The last time that I did it last year, I feel like it was a little bit shorter than I remembered it being the first time that I ever did it. But, you know, it was a nice little refresher. You know, eventually, one day deep in the future, we will get to the point where we'll be playing FF15 here on stream. We'll just have to take that one as it comes, I guess. We've still got a long journey to get to the later FF entries. I still have to drag myself out to play FF8. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're making it. I think, you know, it will go a lot faster once we get past 8. Like, I don't mind a lot of the later entries in the series, to be honest. Like, obviously, 9 is going to be a lot of fun. 10 is one of my favorite games of all time. 13, it's a little different. I actually did not mind it all that much as just a general JRPG. Maybe not as something that's got the FF name attached to it. But I enjoyed it for what it was. And yeah. So, you know, once we get over FF8, I think things will go a little bit faster. Then, you know, once we're done, probably sometime next year, possibly sometime in the next 5 years at the rate we're going, we will have the secret game, the secret FF adjacent game available to play. I'm really excited to show that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably a game you guys all know, but we'll have some fun with it, right? All right, there we go. Completely messed that up. This kind of goes to show you how just a few weeks away can really mess up your rotation. Here we go. That's alright. It's not like we really have to min-max on a trust dungeon, right? But still, it's always good to have it just to get into, right? And drag it back on over here. We're gonna attack with a potency of 400. Okay. See, that's one that's a little bit of a newer ability that I got last time that I have not really had a chance to play around with all that much. There we go. The weird thing is, like, I actually like tanking a fair amount. I'm definitely not confident to, like, hop into a Savage or something like that. Having an extra tank in there it kind of screws me up a little bit, like having to trade off your threat and all of that. I'm just very much the kind of person that's, you know, screw it, I'll do it myself kind of mentality, right? But I do enjoy it. It's not hard when you really get down to it. It's fairly easy overall. Here we go. Get out of there. All right. There we go. All right. See, that's a little bit closer to what we needed. I'm getting the hang of it again. Slowly but surely. These old bones can relearn things. But yeah, I do enjoy it. It's honestly very chill. You know, that's probably the biggest secret when it comes to MMOs, is that tanking is almost always the easiest job in terms of actually playing it. It's just you have all of that pressure about everyone looking at you, right? That's, I think, where a lot of the tanxiety comes from. But it's really not hard. You typically have to deal with fewer mechanics. It's just, you know, making sure that you keep your... make sure that you keep your threat up where it needs to be when you got big AoE packs and stuff, and then, yeah, just using your cooldowns. Use your Rampart. Use your Reprisal there. God, I've even forgotten all of the names. This goes to show you how long it's been. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't even really mind doing it all that much in actual group content. It's really only the high-end stuff. It's only really the stuff where another tank gets involved. Even normal trials and stuff are really not that bad. Usually you can get through a trial with just one main tank, and then the other tank is just kind of there as an extra DPS, or if something goes really, really wrong. I guess there are a couple that have some ads. It's, you know, about as tricky as it gets. There we go. Like, I'm still on the hunt for the T weapons and stuff. And I'm kind of thinking, like, if it is a little bit easier to get it as a tank, then, like, why wouldn't I? Like, yeah, obviously everyone that watches the channel probably knows me for my Red Mage play. And if I'm gonna do T, I pretty clearly want to do it. And, you know, show off the numbers, see how I stack up with everyone. but it's like, it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather just have the weapon. Just in general at this point. It's been so long. We came so close to getting past phase 1 cleanly before things just went really, really south in that last static that I had. Like, yeah, I know if you're like a really hardcore raider, you need to do the new ultimates and stuff, but I don't know, I just don't care for the weapons all that much. For me, it's all about the glams, you know? That's really the only thing you get from doing ultimates, maybe a little bit of bragging rights. So yeah, you know, if you don't like the weapon, then you don't have to do it, right? And yeah, the T weapon is really the main one that I'm really looking at. I just really, really like it. Here we go. Right. But, you know, that's pretty far down the road. That's probably after Dawn Trail at this point. I really can't imagine trying to find a T static at this point in the expansion's life cycle. Maybe there's more people trying to do it now that they've gotten other stuff done. But I don't know, I just feel like the player base, you know, we're having fun trying other games and trying some new stuff, so you know, you gotta play around with that a little bit. You know, as you well know, as I play my weird space sim. Which I just really like that game. It's very surprising that it took me this long to actually get into it. Like, they really didn't market Elite all that well. Like, I thought it was like a hardcore PvP space sim, right? And it's definitely a hardcore space sim, but it's not necessarily PvP. Like, I'm having a lot of fun just space trucking out there in a way that that I have not experienced in quite some time. Just a lot of stuff to do, a lot of good content, and now it's just a really good time. I just kind of lucked out just buying it on Steam sale. But it does feel like it is just a very, very good time to get into it with lots of stuff going on, lots of good events, a lot of players coming back to the game and trying all the Thargoid stuff. Okay, Sue. Oh, I forgot that they stick around me here. Here we go. What are they doing? Well, I guess I can stay in the inner ring. They wanna run around outside. That's cool. Alright. Gotta get all my timing back. Gotta get used to that latency protection. There we go. Boom. Which meteors we got here? You know, it's all... I've been playing this so long that it feels like it's really not that hard to get back into. Just got to get back into the mindset of it, I think. Right. Okay, so it's going to be one of these two. Who's next? Okay. Here we go. That's fine. We'll be okay. Yeah, there. Boom. It's been a while since I've heard the old Final Fantasy victory theme. It's always pleasant. All right. I think the worst part about coming back after not playing in a while is my bags. That's truly the MMO terror, right? What in the world do I have in my bags, and what was I using all this for? Knowing me, it was all like RP stuff at some point. Alright. I need to, you know, just speaking of general things, the general updates for the week now that I got a few days off. I still need to go see Dune 2. I really want to see it. I think I'll like it quite a bit. I really like the first one. But I've been enjoying all of the Dune memes out and about, especially the ones with Gom Jabbar. And I guess there's been some really good ones with the Cerveza Cristal meme. It's just the wildest thing. You know, I didn't know where exactly that came from, so I you know, saw on Discord someone posted the original meme source from the old Chilean Star Wars, I guess, where they would just insert the ads into the movie instead of cutting a break, right? And oh man, I was absolutely losing it at the Palpatine one in the throne room. Oh man, like I'd be more okay with that if we did that more often. Maybe not like every show. Obviously, we've got product placement in a lot of shows nowadays, but you know, every now and then for these big movies that everyone's seen, you know, so many times, like yeah, sure, let's just get wacky with it. I kind of want to try Cerveza Cristal now, if it's even available here, if it's even still around. Might not be. Right. There. Oh. There we go. Seemed like kind of odd timing on that, but sure. Okay. I wonder how my old ranch is doing. I haven't stepped on the island in a while. No, I did the final visit with Tataru and everyone, and yeah, I've kind of forgotten about it. I really wanted to try and make sure that I was keeping up with it for the mount that you get from the recommended items, right? Like the in-demand items that you can make in the workshop. And then yeah, that lasted like 2 weeks. And then my island is returned to the wild. That's all right. It's probably for the best. I already ruined enough of the landscape there. That was just kind of a nice little place to hang out. I am curious how that's going to transfer to hopping around on different planets in Dawn Trail, but, you know, sure, why not? Not the weirdest thing Final Fantasy's ever done. Ugh. Oh, hey. Been a while since I've used that. I am really curious about how some of the reworks are going to go down. Like, obviously, you know, everyone's kind of waiting to see what the new finishers are and that kind of thing. But, like, the Dragoon rework, and then, I think they're doing, is it Astrologian next? Dragoon and Astrologian? I think that's the two. I know Dragoon for sure. I am really curious how that's going to go. You know, we won't know for at least another month or two. I'm sure they'll give us some more details during a live letter in the lead up to it. But yeah, that's just another job. Like I've gotten it to 90 on some ults, but like I don't really remember a whole lot about it. It's just kind of like a Dragoon fugue state, right? Like I guess I did this at some point. I don't really remember what all I need to be doing with it. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I think it'll go pretty well. I trust them. It does need a little bit more, just to kind of even out the pacing, I think, a little bit. But yeah, it'll be a good opportunity to, you know, hop back in and try some new stuff we haven't done in a while. Try some new jobs. I just really want my Amaro mount though, before we get up to that, right? There we go. Let's do... All right. Okay. Okay, thrill of battle. Okay, yeah, that's my self-heal. Got it. Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, I shouldn't be getting that low as a warrior. I'm forgetting something really important here. Yeah, I have the fierce. There you go. It's like, oh yeah, I really should be spamming some of these moves, shouldn't I? It's fine. We are burning through this. Alright, there we go. There he is. I know my timing's all off. It's fine. It happens. I'm not super concerned about it. I think Elise is putting in some work. Where's the other one? There we go. Here. All right, there we go. All right, I probably should have saved up a little bit more, but that's fine. Be switching over to the wings soon. All right. Yeah, how are you guys? I hope everyone's enjoying Rebirth quite a bit. I have thankfully avoided everything about it. Again, I won't be able to play it for another couple of years. But yeah, it seems like just in general, from what I've heard, it seems like people really enjoy it. So that's always good. I mean, I doubt you'd have to try really hard to really mess up FF7, right? Like, maybe if they did some really wild changes or something to the story, people would be mad. But it seems like I haven't heard anything, like, really negative about it yet. I gotta talk to my buddy, my store manager, who took a week off to play it. He said he played a little bit opening night when it unlocked, and didn't really even do anything in the story. He was just running around the open world, having fun with all of that stuff. So yeah, it seems like they did a really good job with it. Yeah, I just hope that I can avoid the spoilers and all of that for as long as I can. I was really surprised that I managed to avoid it for the first one, and then yeah, once I actually played it, is, you know, one of the best games I've played in a very long time. You know, once it does hit PC in however many years from now, I will be streaming it. I am a little disappointed that I didn't stream it the first time. I just kind of started playing it on a whim. It wasn't really something I had planned out because I wasn't the biggest FF7 fan before that, right? Like, I had not played FF7 again until we did it just recently. So I didn't really know what to expect. It was like, okay, I guess I'll play it. It's, you know, it's Final Fantasy. And then yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So the next time we do have the opportunity, I'll definitely be streaming it this next time. There we go. Before doing a second playthrough with a bunch of illegal third-party tools, says the guy with the Jacko Tifa sitting on his dresser. Here we go. I'm getting kind of close. Do I want to gotcha? I don't really see any reason not to. That's another thing I need to remember to keep doing is we'll do 2. Why not? We'll do the 3.0. Sort. There we go. Yeah, it's I gotta remember to do my MGP stuff. There are a couple of things that I do want still from the MGP. I mean, obviously, you can always go for the really expensive items. But I think there were a couple... bunch of stuff I didn't have yet. I think there were a couple of glam pieces and stuff that I still didn't have that I wouldn't mind having. especially on some of my alts. You know, that is one of the big drawbacks. I do kind of wish that more was shared between your alts in this game. Just because so many of us RPers do have more than one character, right? So it is kind of rough not having your emotes and stuff. Like, I can kind of see why they do it for like the paid items and whatnot. Man, some of the stuff that you gotta unlock through like quests and that kind of thing, like, it would be really nice to have it on my actual RP alt. I don't really RP all that much on Kyra here these days, but I've got several RP alts that I really wish I had, you know, had a couple of these dance emotes and just some of the other general emotes, some of the food ones. All right. So what do we want to do now? That's the question. Now that I've kind of woken up a little bit, do I want to hop into a leveling roulette? It's kind of a big question. I mean, I guess I could do MSQ. I mean, that's always like a full-on level. Like, at this point, it's not even, like, I don't care about the gear or anything. I don't even care about the rewards. I just literally want to get my alts up to 80. I really want that mount. All right. Well, at least my house is still here. Small bit of solace, I suppose. The last time I logged in, I did get hit with that whole auto demo notice being like, hey, thanks for coming back into the game. Your house is no longer scheduled. Like, I realized that I'd been playing a lot of Elite and other games. I didn't realize that I had straight up not logged into this game for 45 days. That's pretty bad. Usually I'm better about it than that. So, you know, whoops. Like, that's half the reason I still say subscribed, right? Like, you don't want to lose your house, especially on Balmung. So, that's really the primary reason. I don't know. I just feel bad that I haven't played it a whole lot. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys do watch for the FF14 content, and obviously it's still my favorite game. So, you know, I need to be better about hopping in here and trying to find some stuff to do. You know, maybe we can do like an RP session among watchers or something like that, or I don't know. We can do something a little more interesting for the actual streams. This should be kind of fun. I just got to get creative. I've just been bogged down with work and all that. Especially through the holidays. But, you know, those are over now, so. Which one we got? Ah, Prey. All right. That's not too bad. Ugh. I think I don't even really need to pop in another battle manual. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's one of those things that's always kind of rough as a streamer, right? Because a game like this, like, I'm always happy to hop into it, but is that necessarily good content? Like, that's the question. So, you know, it gets a little tricky. You gotta kind of decide between what you want to play and what viewers actually want to watch sometimes. I mean, obviously the way to get started, if you're just starting out VTubing and stuff, just play what you want, right? But, you know, as you start to grow and start getting invested a little bit more into everything, it does become one of those questions that you gotta think about at least a little bit. There you go. And like I said, you know, you gotta fight the algorithm and all of that. Just always a little tricky. Yep. Or if I go AFK from time to time. The plumber is here. All right. Well, you know, it happens. Here we go. Yeah, you know, I know this probably isn't like the most engaging or exciting thing. It's always kind of a tricky thing with MMOs in general, is that once it reaches a certain point, in these traditional MMOs anyways, you know, this, WoW, BDO, whatever it happens to be, Like, you reach a point where you reach the end game, quote unquote, and then really the only thing that people are interested in watching is just like the high-end raids and that kind of thing, right? I think that's one reason I like Elite quite a bit, is that there's so much to do, and there's not really one specific thing that all of the streamers and all of the viewers are really looking for. Like, you can do the Thargoid War stuff right now, but I think most people are doing that anyways, just because it's kind of exciting new content for the most part, right? But it's not like before all of this stuff happened in Elite, like that's all people would watch. Like, you go in, you see people trying to do AX stuff, right? Like, that's not the expectation. You can kind of hop in and stream whatever aspect of it you want, whether that's trading, whether that's combat, Thargoid stuff, whatever it happens to be. I mean, granted, it's probably not the best. It's probably not the best example. Most of the time, Elite has like less than 1,000 viewers across all of Twitch. You know, I do get a fair amount off of my VODs of it, which is nice. But yeah, you know, maybe that's why they don't get a whole lot of viewers, is because if they don't have a specific in-game goal, maybe all of it's just kind of slow. I don't know. But I don't know. I've liked it quite a bit. I feel like as long as I've got things to talk about, like there's so many aspects of that game that are kind of like, yeah, we can hang out and stream this. Versus FF14 lately, that it's just like, you know, here I am doing MSQ again, roulette, because that's all that I really have to do. There you go. I mean, it's, you know, if you guys really want to see me go to one of the nightclubs or something, I guess we can do that. Seemed to work pretty well for Preach, but Preach has significantly more viewers than I do, so I think no matter what he ended up doing, it was probably going to be kind of interesting. You know, I am kind of interested in maybe hopping back into Overwatch. I've just been waiting for it to hit Game Pass. I'm really surprised that it hasn't yet. Now that Microsoft owns Blizzard, I just feel a little bit better about it. But yeah, just it hasn't hit Game Pass yet, and I'm just very surprised. And I saw earlier that they're doing a Cowboy Bebop collab. Like, okay, I mean, that's a thing, I guess. I don't know what they have to do with each other or why Cowboy Bebop is still relevant somehow, but okay, sure, why not? At least from the initial reactions, it seemed like people thought it was kind of cool. It's just a very odd collab. It's not what I would have expected. Really, I mean, I don't really ever expect Overwatch to do collabs in general, but I guess they want to go the Fortnite route, so sure, why not? Put Spike in there. No one will know. But yeah, you know, I wouldn't even necessarily be opposed to hopping back into WoW on some of the streams now that Blizzard's been sold, but I really don't want to pay for even more games. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing with my Crunchyroll subscription at this point. I haven't really watched any anime in a while. I've just been I've been deep in the manga well lately. I usually do one or the other, and yeah, it's been a lot of manga. I never thought I would say I was so against manga for so long. Just because, like, I like, for me, comics was always about the color, right? Like, I like the vibrant colors and the artwork that way, but and yeah, early mangas growing up, like, they were kind of had that kind of sketchy art style, right? Where it was kind of hard to tell what exactly was going on, over inked in a lot of places. But now it's not too much of an issue. So, you know, I still miss my color sometimes, but overall, I've just really enjoyed reading a lot of manga lately. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with that Crunchyroll subscription. I mean, it's not a ton. It's like, what, $7 a month, if that. So it's more than reasonable. I mean, I know I talk about the troubles with working retail all the time, but it's not like I can't eat. Like, if I have income, I just can't afford to do, you know, big $1,000 commissions for the stream or anything like that right now. But you know, I can afford Crunchyroll. That's not a problem. But yeah, it's just I don't really think I could justify another WoW subscription. Like I tried Dragonflight for like a month. It was okay, I guess. 2 months maybe. Yeah, it wasn't great. I've talked about it a lot. I mean, I said earlier that it says a lot that I had more fun doing a 7-hour stream RP walking the Eastern Kingdoms than I did with anything in Dragonflight. It's not a very good expansion, to be honest. Unless you were, you know, full bent on just doing a bunch of spreadsheet stuff and logging in, clicking the task that you want to do, and not really doing any kind of exploration or anything like that, right? Like it just, I don't know. I just really didn't like it all that much. Go. All right. We'll save that for here in a second. All right. Okay, come on. Here we go. Cool. But you know, it'd be something a little different. I think, you know, I do still have quite a few people that found the channel thanks to my old WoW guides, like way back in the day. So like, it's not like it's something that I haven't done before. You know, I was really just waiting for the Microsoft sale and just to kind of see the lay of the land before all of that. And like, it seems like things are evening out a little bit and going okay. But, yeah, I just can't think of anything that like I feel like I desperately need to do in WoW. Like I was really holding out hope when there were rumors that they might do Old Scarlet Monastery as part of the WoW Secrets thing, just like they did Old Nax and Old Shallow. Like, that kind of stuff keeps me subscribed way longer than anything in Dragonflight was going to. Like, I live for that kind of stuff. Give me the WoW Secrets all day, but it didn't seem like they hadn't really made any progress with it. It might have been tied to another event or something, the data mine Arlet key or whatever it was that they found. So, yeah, once I saw that that wasn't going to be a thing, that's kind of whenever I dropped out of it. Yeah, for me, it's all about finding the old wacky stuff, the old rare item hunt, right? The stuff that's legacy WoW, but in current live WoW instead of just hopping into classic or whatever, right? Yeah. So yeah, you know, I'm just spitballing. We'll just kind of play it by ear as we always do and see what sounds interesting. I mean, obviously, all of this is going to be moot come like July or August when Doctrine comes out. We'll be going pretty hard on that. There we go. Nice. Ugh. Like, Elite's been good, but I would like another traditional MMO to play too. You know, there's always rumors of these couple coming out, and it turns out that, you know, they were either vaporware or they went the full-on KMMO route, right? They're just grindy and didn't really know what they were doing. I don't know if my buddy still plays. Sorry about the truck. I don't know if my buddy still plays New World or not. I know he was hard into it for a little bit and then kind of got burned out of it. And then started hopping back into it again. I still see a bunch of updates for it on Steam and stuff. So, you know, I don't know. It was okay. You know, the nice thing with that is that, you know, you buy it once and then you're kind of you've always got it. The's no subscription, so we can always hop back into that if we want to. But trying to keep up with the war and all of that, and you know, trying to play politics and Discord so you can get invited to the big war zones and whatnot is just too much. But you know, I would like something a little more traditional MMO-y like. And I guess we can. Guess we'd always really go old school and play EverQuest. That's still going strong. Could you imagine? No, I think when he was still around, didn't Vesper do like an EverQuest stream or something like that? And that's a lesson in pain. But you know, that might be kind of funny too. Show all the youths what kind of games we had growing up. Back then, this game had 110,000 subscribers. It was the biggest game of its time. That was a lot of people. How many people even still play EverQuest nowadays? I mean, it's gotta have like a fair enough base to like justify still coming out with expansions every now and then, from what I understand. I know they've supposedly ramped down on them a little bit, but yeah, last I checked, they were still doing like big updates and stuff every couple of years or so. Like, I don't know if it's quite what we would call a full-on expansion nowadays, compared to just like a big patch for most modern MMOs. But, you know, clearly people still like it enough. All right, here we go. Well, let's just sit back, relax. All right, we got time. Maybe this will be enough time for that dude's plumber to finish whatever they're doing, if you know what I mean. I'm excited for more A+ Sid and Nero content. I hope they show up in Dawn Trail. Also the new models. Man, I'm excited. I'm really curious what this is going to look like. What old Kyra is going to look like, if she's still going to be as angry as she is. She's always so full of spite when she gets a new face, but it is nice that they're going to try and give everyone a free Fantasia. Coincide with the new model releases and everything, so that'll be really good. You know, I don't know if it's something I would actually use. We'll have to wait for the benchmark to come out. We'll see if I can recreate Kyra as best as I can in the benchmark and see if it's really all that different, or if I need to make some more adjustments. But overall, I don't really do too much with Fantasia's on her. But some of my other characters, I might use it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get the Heavensward Collector's Edition upgrade in the future too. Then I'll have 3 Fantasias the moment I log in on any character. It's pretty nice. Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Oh, I also need to double check. That reminds me. I need to see if our bookstore has Encyclopedia Eorzea, the 3rd edition. Because that came out in December, right? Yeah, I get that for half off. Why wouldn't I? I don't know. I just, for as big of a discount as I get, I don't really use it all that much, just because I don't have time to read as much as I used to. I still haven't read through the Encyclopedia Eorzea that I've got. But I do like the items. I like having my Matoya's hat and everything, right? Some of my coworkers are real bad. They got a whole shelf of stuff that they still need to pick up. They've set aside for future paychecks, and then the piles just keep growing. They never actually pick any of it up. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy. Like, most of the time it's stuff that's pretty popular, so we haven't really run into any issues where like a customer has wanted something that we've held back. But, you know, I just hate doing that. If I don't have the money for it, then I usually just don't worry about it. If I miss it, I miss it. I have been trying to make sure that I have a pre-order set aside for all of the new new issues of Sailor Moon coming out. You know, the retranslated Naoko Takeuchi collection. I've definitely been enjoying that. But aside from that, like, I don't really keep a whole lot back. But the Encyclopedia Eorzea, maybe. If I could cook, I've heard the cookbook is really good too, and we do have it. But unfortunately, I can't cook. But it's not that I can't. I mean, follow the recipe. The problem is I would have to do it at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm waking up the whole house, and no one wants that, right? So again, if you want to see me cook on stream, I guess, please make sure and like and subscribe. You know, so I also do accept super chats and super follows. Not required, but, you know, just watching the stream and sharing with your friends helps out a lot. And then, yeah, hopefully, if we can keep that road to 1,500 subs moving along at a brisk pace, then, you know, eventually I get my own place and we can do things like that. And finally do guitar streams where I'm not backed up against a wall sitting in this awful chair, right? So yeah, any and all support is appreciated. But again, it's not required to give money. I appreciate it and I try reading them out on stream, but you know, right now it's all about the follows. All about the follows and just getting more views. There you go. That's free. Been trying to do it a little bit more on Blue Sky. You know, especially if I see that a VTuber is like, hey, I'm really close to affiliate. I'd appreciate if you come watch me, because I know how hard that can be. So, you know, it's easy enough to do the free things, right? You click a button. And you don't even really have to watch all that much afterwards. Yeah, I prefer you watch, but you don't have to. Go. I should have saved that. That's fine. It's fine. There you go. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm always looking for, like, collabs and that kind of thing. I think it's just one of those situations where I'm just, you know, I'm kind of here. I try and keep it professional, right? I try making good content for you all. And then they just kind of leave it at that. So, like, I wouldn't say I'm, like, super active on B-Sky, or really any social media in terms of, like, replying to people and that kind of thing, but that doesn't mean that I'm opposed to it. You know, if you guys want to collab or anything, I have all of, like, my my contact info and all of that here on YouTube. I think you gotta click, like, the show spoiler button or something like that. And, you know, Twitter, B-Sky, all of that stuff. I should probably make a card, come to think of it. Might do that when the new model comes out, if I wasn't scammed trying to get the new model, right? But yeah, I mean, people are always free to hit me up. Like, I have the DMs open and all of that. So it's really not too hard to get a hold of me. I'm just very quiet when it comes to my own stuff. But that doesn't mean that I'm not looking at what you guys are saying. Doesn't mean that I'm not trying to support you from afar, even if I'm not super vocal about it. I don't know. Really need to be. Feel like I need to be super vocal about it or try and get the attention. I'd rather just kind of support as I can. Especially since I can't give like a lot of money away or anything. It'd be nice to do giveaways on stream. You know, if the channel does keep growing and that kind of stuff, I think that would be a lot of fun, is to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you are getting close to affiliate or partner, YouTube partner or anything like that, like, I'm always happy to give a follow or anything. But mostly I just want people to play games with. You know, I really want to be able to play Lethal Company. Or, you know, if I had people to play with, I might play Helldivers too, but it's kind of hard to do it lonely. You know? I just kind of do my thing. But again, you can always hit me up if it sounds like something you're interested in. And of course, if anyone wants to carry me through tea, just Just throwing out there that I am open to static invitations. If you want a top-end red mage, she's made a lot of guides for YouTube. By all means, if you're trying to take down Alexander, well then, hit me up. See, that's really why I want to join a corpo, right? It's so I have people that can take me through T. That's the ultimate goal. That's the secret to why I'm doing all of this. It's not to actually make a living and live a reasonable adult life. It's just so I can get a cool glowy weapon in FF14. Alright. Why do we fight? For whom do we fight? I don't know. Whom am I fighting for? Maybe I just like fighting. Maybe I'm doing it for myself. Maybe for my intrusive thoughts. I don't know. No one can really explain the ways of my Warrior of Light. She just murders things on a whim because that's what she does.
Tell me, for whom do you fight?
Ugh. Oh god. Almost spilled my soda. Forgot that it was a lot more full than I thought it was. Like, I'm almost done with this. Nope. That's not coming out anytime soon. It is kind of weird. Speaking of collapse and stuff, that like, I don't know. I used to play a lot with my best friend with like in WoW and stuff. I know that if I joined WoW Classic, he'd play with me. Really, we don't really play a whole lot of the same games. I know he's definitely not a streamer. Maybe he'd be into it. I don't know. Get him on stream. You can hear about this mysterious BFF that I've talked about a lot. But recently he did tell me he was getting into Cyberpunk, and I'm like, oh, buddy. I never thought he would be into it, but I guess he really, really likes it. Like, man, I really, well, we were kind of toasted watching the soccer game last weekend. He's like, dude, bro, I'm really into Pan Am. And I'm like, bro, let me tell you the words, my friend. let me tell you the secrets of the internet. See, I guess he's really into Pan Am. I never actually, I think, romanced her in any. Like, I always play female characters. I know there's a mod that can kind of take away the restrictions. I should probably install that. I never finished, like, completely finished Phantom Liberty. Like, I got most of it done, but at the time, I was really wanting to take part in a lot of those Cyberpunk screenshot contests. But around the pyramid, the lag was so bad, even on my system, that I was getting maybe 15 FPS. Like, you know me, I don't have to have it at like 120 to be happy. I've had so many bad computers over the years that it's really, I can deal with it. But if I'm doing screenshot contests, like, I kind of need it on Ultra. And I want to try getting some movement and some action and stuff in there. And it was just way too hard in the actual Phantom Liberty zone to really take part in a whole lot of the screenshot contests. I was really disappointed. I could have used some of that gear. And you know me, it's all about photo mode on pretty much any game that we have. But I did really, really enjoy it. You know, if I wasn't as focused on the photography stuff, I probably would have just kind of barreled through it and just dealt with it as best as possible. Because I did really, really enjoy the expansion. It finally feels like the game Cyberpunk was always meant to be. He's never watched Edge Runners, so I was trying to tell him, like, dude, you gotta watch Edge Runners. He's asking me, like, what weapons and stuff I use. I'm like, I don't use weapons, I use a cyber deck. Like, oh man, you're like one of the magic dudes. I was like, yeah, I can kill people through cameras, right? But I did say, like, I do have one weapon. Name is Guts. You gotta watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. All right, we all here? Cool. Let's do this. That way he too can understand the glory that was Rebecca and the sheer anger that you're going to have picking up that weapon for the first time in the game. All right. There you go. But yeah, that is the only weapon that I use. You know, I wouldn't even be opposed to streaming some more Cyberpunk, because I really do. It is a very good game, but it's one of those that's kind of like, yeah, you kind of gotta restrict it to 18 plus. You don't really have much of a choice on that, and that kind of limits what we can do here. But you know, it's never been about the monetization for me. So if people are still interested in watching Cyberpunk streams, like, yeah, we can start up a new save, have some fun with it, I guess. I don't really see a downside to doing it. Right, and weird. Bring them over there. Like, a lot of tanks bring them from just really weird spots. Like, the tank always brings them behind where they're standing, instead of trying to bring them behind the rest of the group where everyone else is. I feel like that's one of those small things that that people don't pay attention to, but people, like, in your party appreciate that so much when you're playing a tank. Like, it kind of separates you from the other tanks. It's just little things like that that let you know that you're thinking about how the group is going to be handling some of this stuff, right? Like, yeah, like, okay, I have to move forward instead of backwards to try and make it easier for the rest of my group to get to some of these areas. Like, okay, like, that's not a problem. Yeah, just moving backwards would be easier for me, but I mean, what does that really accomplish other than make everyone else have to run more for the sake of my own being, right? Yeah, you know, I try doing my best. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you get caught in the moment, but I always try my best to keep the party in mind when it comes to group content like this. Easy content, you know, the savages and stuff, you're gonna have kind of a set path that you gotta go anyways for a lot of it, but you know, alliance raids and that kind of thing, it does make a pretty big difference. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, work on him. Here we go. Oh, messed that up. Here we go. Hey, we did it. I am curious what's going to be revealed in the next live letter. Usually they don't even do one unless they've got some good content ready to go. Some really good info and whatnot. So, you know, the next one should be really good. All right. Yeah, I got to double check on the lodestone and see if they have anything coming up. Always do my healer when I am a tank. Oh, no comms. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm used to it as a red mage. Sure, I saved the alliance raid and res 20 people that boss, but no comms. It's cool. Not salty at all about it. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for now. We'll be back tomorrow with something else. I don't know what it'll be yet. I keep saying all of these other games and it ends up being Elite. But, you know, it's just life sometimes. But yeah, thanks a ton to everybody for coming and hanging out with me. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to touch base and be like, hey, yes, I still play this game. I still really enjoy FF14. We're just kind of in a down period, and I know I don't have a whole lot that I can personally come up with streaming the game. But, you know, if people do want to do Savages or something like that, like I said, hit me up. It's really not hard to find me. I take friend requests. It's just Kyravast on Balmung. And then, yeah, well, we can just kind of go from there. But I hope everyone has a good... It's almost the end of the week. It's almost there. You got it. And, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with something. Probably FF8. Try and get a little bit more of that knocked out. And, yeah. But have a good afternoon, everybody. Take care, and bye-bye.